Ladies and gentlemen, we are live at the Arnold Fencing Classic. We're about to bear witness to the gold medal match of the Under-19 Women's Epee competition. On the left, Devin Belsley from Chicago, Illinois, the Windy City Fencing Club. And on the right, Julia Semikin from Columbus, Ohio, for the Columbus Fencing and Fitness. Ready, ladies? Let's start. Our referee. Okay, and the fencing starts. And both fencers jockeying for position, looking for opportunity. Semikin pressing forward. Belsley giving ground, taking the pass. A little bit of cat and mouse. Semikin being very patient, looking for her opportunity. Makes an attempt with the toe, no joy. Devin looking for the parry post, looking for a counter attack up top. And there's the attack. It's kind of a false attack, gets Devin to go, and Julia Semikin finishes and scores her first touch. Scores 1-0. Again, this sort of cat and mouse. Belsley expanding and contracting the distance, trying to get a mistake out of Miss Semikin. Steps are rather large, a little bit out of distance, posing no real threat. Still no opportunities to score. Semikin's content to lay back with a one-touch lead. She may be playing for a non-combativity call. We'll see. Semikin backs up all the way, forcing Belsley to come forward. This is the first time that's the first time Belsley has really achieved the middle line. She takes the blade, goes, riposte, nothing. Belsley still doesn't want to engage, and there it comes forward on the preparation, and Julia Semikin lunges into it, scores her second touch, and it's 2-0. And now it looks like Belsley's going to have to do something to change this up. She's down 2 touches, hasn't been able to score yet. Semikin keeping her distance well. Belsley in and out of distance, still trying to make a mistake from Semikin, but Semikin's not buying it, and Semikin's hanging back. She doesn't have to engage. She doesn't have to push the action. She's up 2 touches. It's an attack of the toe, but it's not really a real attack. She's just trying to get Belsley to come forward. Belsley too clever for that, and she knows it's a fake, so she lets it go. Makes an attack there, but it's shallow, doesn't score. She makes a real attack there, but this time Semikin's ready for it. The counterattack scores. It's 3-0 Semikin. Semikin taking advantage of this, running away with this. Just being very, very patient, very, very smart bout so far by Semikin. But this is Epee, it's fencing, anything can happen. It's only 3 points. We fenced to 15 points here at the Arnold Fencing Classic. Belsley still covering a lot of ground. She's using big footwork. I think she needs to switch up her footwork to some small footwork. And this time, Julia Semikin misses over the top. Belsley scores her first touch. And it's 1 fencing 3. 25 seconds remaining in the first period. Semikin a little energized after that. Didn't like giving up that point. She thought that one should have been hers. She's bouncing on her feet now, which is she wasn't doing that before. Now she's really getting some tempo into her footwork. Belsley takes the blade and goes, but it's met by a double touch, and the score will go to 2-4. And so Semikin still up by 2. 10 seconds left in the first period, and Semikin probably content to run out the clock. And time expires. Well, we saw the first period there between Devin Belsley and Julia Semikin, and it looks like Belsley is moving in and out of distance, but unable to really get Semikin to make a mistake. So we'll have to see what's going on. It looks like both fencers are getting some advice from their coaches right now, and we'll see what they're saying. I think Semikin's coach is telling her probably to be patient, just like she's been. The onus is really on Belsley to come forward and see if she can force her to make a mistake, or if she can simply take the action to her. There's a lot of distance between them. Belsley's going to have to find some way to earn the distance so she can make that touch. Maybe she can make that touch to a shallow target like a hand or a foot. We'll see what her strategy is in the second period. All right. Fencers are testing their bells. Let's go back to the action. All right, it is the second period, and the score is 2 fencing 4 in favor of Julia Semikin, who fenced to 15 touches. The masks are down, they're on guard, and here they go. Semikin creeping forward. Hugging the extreme side of the strip, both fencers, both right-handers. Attack, and it's parried. Semikin looking at that low line, targeting that front thigh. Let's see if she goes there or changes up high. And Semikin actually coming forward this time, which is a little different. She makes an attack, it's parried. But Semikin closes the distance and makes the riposte unavailable. And so nothing is done. We start again. Interesting to see Semikin coming forward now. His strategy has changed. Perhaps he's trying to keep Belsley off balance. And this time, a parry riposte from Belsley, but it's met by the counterattack. Semikin scores a double touch. It is 5 fencing 3. Semikin up by 2 points. 2 points is a lot in épée. All right. Fencers are dancing back and forth again. Belsley still trying to get her to come into her distance, but Semikin too clever for that, not falling for that. Belsley has to come forward and change some tempo. She's at the same tempo she's always been. Her footwork seems to be tightening up a little bit. She looks like she's getting some smaller steps now. There's an apprise de fer attack, but the blade slips off, and Semikin scores a double touch anyway. 4 fencing 6. Semikin up by 2 points. 2 minutes left in the second period. Here they go. Belsley still looking for that touch. Maybe she can hit an advanced target like a hand or a foot. Semikin keeping her blade low and out of line, so it's difficult for Belsley to take her blade. Semikin carefully looking for that point. She's looking for the opportunity, looking for Belsley to make a big mistake. Belsley's steps are big. She might catch her in the middle of a step. There's a feint to the foot. Belsley doesn't go on it. And there's a apprise de fer attempt, but in the process of doing it, Belsley's take was too big and slipped off. And Semikin finds the hand, an easy touch for Semikin, and a big touch opens up a 3-touch lead. Now we're going to start to see some desperation come in. It's only 4-7. We fenced to 15, but 3 touches. It's a lot of ground to cover in épée. Belsley moving fast and far. Semikin moving small, but also quick, but also relaxed. Semikin very relaxed, parries with ease. No riposte. Doesn't like the look of it. She'll wait for a better opportunity. She can afford to wait. Semikin, a slight bounce in her step. She's looking for tempo, looking for that big step of Belsley. Belsley's got to come forward with a preparation. When she does, circular parry, but no riposte. There's a take, a apprise de fer by Belsley, but it's the same apprise de fer she's been doing. Every time she takes the blade, Semikin comes off the blade with a disengage and scores a double touch. Belsley needs to come up with a different take or something different. Semikin is ready for that one. Semikin also keeping good distance, so it's very, very possible to do that. Semikin keeping that blade low, very difficult for Belsley to take the blade. Belsley's still looking for the blade. She has to be able to make touches with and without the blade. We'll have to see what happens. There's another take on the blade. Semikin backs up. Parry riposte, no good. And there's an, oh boy. Oh, and that's just frustrating. Belsley with a beautiful apprise de fer attack, but somehow Semikin able to double it out, and Belsley was visibly frustrated with that touch. It really looked like a one-lighter. It looked like she deserved that one. She really earned the distance, but épée is a cruel mistress. Semikin scores. And we're at the end of the second period. And the end of the second period finds the score 9 fencing 6. Semikin in the lead, and again, a very brutal last touch there. I really thought that Devin Belsley really had that attack, and it looked like she really came forward and found that blade and took it all the way to the house. But somehow, Semikin just slipped off of it. She's being very, very subtle. She's being a lot smaller. I think being smaller sometimes helps fencers. Sometimes when the actions are too big, they become very predictable. And we can see the footwork of Belsley is rather large. Semikin is small. Semikin just waiting for the time. Much more efficient, much smaller. Let's see what happens here in the third and final period. It's 6 fencing 9. It's still anyone's game. All Belsley has to do is tie it up. 3 touches is not insurmountable. This is the finals. Anything can happen. Let's go back to the action. Okay, referee giving some final instructions. Belsley on the left at 6 points. Semikin on the right, 9 points. Here they go. Belsley's moving. And now Semikin also moving. Semikin moving big this time. It looks like Semikin has come out slightly differently in each round. She's really changing it up, showing different looks. Sort of like a football team would show different formations. Sometimes fencers like to show different looks at the beginning of periods, trying to keep their opponents guessing. Belsley still looking for her opportunity. She's got to go at some point. Semikin knows it, so she's just retreating. Might even be looking for a non-combativity. Belsley, there's their attack again. And that prise de fer is parried, and the riposte from Semikin scores, and it is 10 fencing 6. Belsley has to come up with a different blade tech. That take in octave is just not working. She's got to come up with something else, maybe a beat flesh, or maybe an attack to the hand, maybe an attack to the foot. She has to go to the advanced target and into the body, something different, but she can't simply do that 8 take like that. She did it again, this time double touch. Again, Semikin is ready for it. Every time she touches the blade on that side, Semikin does an immediate disengage and scores. 7-11. Here we go. Belsley still being active with the feet. Semikin being cagey. Small footwork, putting the point where it needs to be. And there's another attack with the prise de fer in 8, but fails, and Julia Semikin scores her 12 touch. Belsley has to come up with another attack. She can't keep doing that same one Semikin's been ready for a long time. Oh, and that time Belsley had a good idea. She made a flick attack over the hand, but it failed, and the counterattack from Semikin scored. If Belsley could score that attack, things could change real quick. Belsley comes forward, now she backs off. Beats the blade downward. Semikin needs 2 touches to earn the gold medal. And it looks like the blade is parried to the ground, and the referee sees it. No point is awarded. Belsley's point hit the ground outside of the metal grounded strip area. So we start again, 7-13. And this time, Belsley goes for that counter 8 prise de fer, and this time, Semikin's so ready for it, she actually deceived the blade and scored the double touch. 14, fencing 8. Semikin needs 1 more point. Belsley in and out. Semikin coming forward. First time Semikin's really come forward in earnest, and maybe she backs off this time. She's looking for a dramatic finish, maybe. And there it is, with a simple deception, comes forward with the attack and scores. And our gold medalist is Julia Semikin.